Lexington family is forced out of its home by fire, but help could be on the way. Good evening. We'll have more on that story in a moment, but first, some breaking news.
Within the hour, a second fire here in Lexington. This one has claimed a life. The blaze erupted around 9 o'clock tonight in a home at 557 Chestnut Street. When firefighters arrived on the scene, the back of the home was engulfed in flames, and witnesses say someone tried to get into the home to rescue whoever was inside, but that person was overcome by smoke. The victim's name and age are not known at this time, but if we get that information, we'll pass it along to you later in this newscast. Well, earlier today, fire tore through another Lexington home.
While no one was injured in this blaze, tonight Nasheed and Pauline Fakhreddine are homeless. James DeBrill spent the day with the family and has this report.
Disoriented. Here we are going into the coldest time of the season.
Oh, it's smelling.
It's bitter cold and damp as Nasheed and Pauline Fakhreddine continue to search for what remains of their home.
Yeah. I mean, it's devastating. Anytime someone is uprooted from their home, it's extremely devastating.
It was so beautiful this morning when, Tori left, and this happened. It's just totally disastrous.
A disaster caused by a midday fire.
Pretty well total loss. Yes, there's major damage in every room.
So the Fakhreddine family is packing up what they can, leaving a lot behind.
It's a trying time, but that's what it's all about. Just gonna go back out and get some more stuff.
The family has salvaged what it can and is calling the O'Connell Lodge home for now, but they're not giving up hope. In Lexington, James DeBrill, Fox 56, 10 o'clock news.
Already, our community is reaching out to the Fakhreddine family. A Lexington woman has offered to let the family use a rental home until it can get back on its feet. We'll keep you up to date on how you can help.
More than 30,000 pounds of donated clothing and school materials are damaged in what police call a suspicious blaze. The materials were to be distributed on Indian reservations around the nation. Fire broke out in 3 trailers located in a Colorado warehouse. Fire investigators suspect someone forced open the doors of the trailers and set the fire. The donated items are not covered by insurance.
In southwestern Kentucky, a 12-hour standoff is finally over. A father and son barricaded themselves inside a house in Adair County after police arrived to serve warrants. Charles and Carrie Turner were eventually arrested. Both are charged with wanton endangerment and terroristic threatening.
A scare today at Bluegrass Airport. A twin-engine plane flying in from Mount Sterling had problems with its landing gear. The plane circled the airport for about 10 minutes before landing safely, but the pilot was forced to land the plane on its belly, sliding 2,500 feet before stopping. 3 people were on board at the time. No one was injured.
It was a deadly holiday on Kentucky roadways. 9 people died this New Year's weekend. The state's highest death toll remains 3 years ago when 16 people were killed at the beginning of 1992. A record 36 million people are thought to have traveled this New Year's. That's up 2% from a year ago.
Reports say former Kentucky Congressman Carol Hubbard will begin serving his prison sentence sometime this week. Late last year, Hubbard pleaded guilty to 3 felonies involving misuse of campaign funds and congressional staff, as well as aiding the unsuccessful 1992 congressional campaign of his wife. Hubbard will serve a 3-year sentence. Washington, D.C. Mayor Marion Barry is back at the helm tonight in the capital city. 4 years after being forced out of office in disgrace, Barry is sworn in promising a new and better future for voters. During his absence, he served 6 months in a prison for a drug conviction that now claims to be a born-again Christian.
We're going to address the addiction problem. I think it's time we turn our thinking around to treat addiction as a disease and medically and not as a criminal problem.
At today's inauguration, the mayor asked supporters to give him a chance. He says he will drive the city in a new positive direction.
The General Assembly returns to Frankfort tomorrow to choose its leaders for the next 2 years. The biggest contest is for Speaker of the House. Caucus Chairman Jody Richards is challenging incumbent Joe Clark, and some representatives say the race is too close to call because of all the new faces.
Speaker of the House is a very heated race. I think that race is difficult to call not because of the members that are presently in the General Assembly, but because of the newcomers coming to the General Assembly.
The General Assembly will also appoint committee members. Lawmakers will have 10 days to get this done. Well, the new year means new problems for Kentucky's share of the federal budget.
The Republican Congress is expected to be in a budget-cutting mood. And as Chris Wendell reports, even school lunches are on the chopping block.
School lunches and breakfasts that are free or reduced price come that way because federal money makes up the difference. Now, a bill on the table proposes cuts that could eliminate meals for nearly 100,000 Kentucky children, 10 million nationwide.
We're not feeding freeloaders. These kids need the food, and it's not just the free kids, and it's not just the reduced kids, it's all kids.
Nutrition experts like Eleanor Hall worry that budget-cutting fever in Washington will end up targeting money that's well spent instead in the push to stop waste and abuse. While many know about school prayer on the congressional agenda, few know that school lunches may come up as a topic even sooner.
Kids that don't eat don't learn as well as the kids that do eat breakfast and lunch.
Without the money, Hall hopes states will pick up the slack. Under any new system, it may be that the poorest of the poor still get fed, but nutritionists worry that when that money runs out, the meals will run out with it. In Scott County, Chris Swindell, Fox 56, 10 o'clock news.
Now, national school nutrition groups expect the new Congress to tackle the issue this week. A referee was assaulted this weekend at a Pike County High School basketball game. While these types of incidents don't happen frequently, other high school referees say similar assaults have occurred. Astor Sizemore has spent the last 30 years officiating high school football. He says he's seen everything from shots fired at referees to officials being punched as they left the field.
If you get an avid fan or a parent that feels like somebody's intimidating or threatening their child, you know, it can create some problems. And lots of times they mistake, you know, somebody disciplining them for, you know, for something that maybe seems to be a threat to them.
Police have issued a warrant for the unidentified fan involved in the weekend assault.
Pro-choice advocates demonstrate in New York City. That story tops tonight's Fox 56 News Notes. Today's demonstration follows last week's fatal shootings in Brookline, Massachusetts. During the demonstration, a New York congresswoman called for federal marshals to be stationed at all clinics. The first family is back home tonight in Arkansas. The Clintons will spend the next 3 days in Little Rock. They're scheduled to attend a reception tonight. The president will dedicate an elementary school tomorrow that is named for him.
Busy these days.
Absolutely.
Jet setting, yeah. Well, Uncle Sam is asking for more of your money at the post office.
For companies sending out mass mailings, that 3 cents adds up. We'll explain when the Fox 56 10 o'clock news continues.
And in the weather, you're going to need these tonight. These are gloves because the temperature is already down to 20. We're going to drop another 5 degrees by dawn. I'll have details in just a bit.
I'm Calvin Hughes. Coming up next on Fox 56 10 o'clock news, I'll tell you how Central Kentuckians are getting ready to fight the cold. I'll have a live report.
You're watching Fox 56 10 o'clock news with Marvin Bartlett, Melanie Glasscock, weather with AMS meteorologist Cindy Preszler, and sports with Akemi Takei. Fox 56 10 o'clock news.
In Georgetown and Richmond is ready to give you the best deals on the largest selection of GM cars in Central Kentucky. You'll find unbeatable deals on super trucks like the Chevy S10 and full-size GMC models, new Buicks and Pontiacs, including the Buick LeSabre and the Pontiac Grand Am, sporty Oldsmobiles, including the Cutlass Supreme and the ever-popular Jeeps and Eagles. Whether you go north or south, you'll find the largest selection of GMs at Frank Shoup's in Georgetown and Richmond. Let the Shoup Troop get you mobilized.
Sean Penn.
That was my skull.
Judge Reinhold.
Hi, Bradley.
Denise. I'd make you see God. Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Awesome.
And Phoebe Cates.
Totally awesome.
In the ultimate party movie of all time.
For the double cheese and sausage.
Don't miss the outrageous comedy hit. Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Hey, bud. Let's party.
Network premiere Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
There goes another smart do-it-yourself mover. They called Budget and got a special discount rate on the exact truck they needed. Budget offers features like automatic transmission, power steering, air conditioning, and automatic lift gates at no extra charge. Budget accepts cash and all major credit cards, including Sears, with low daily rates, special weekend rates, and one-way rentals, too.
Budget, that's our number.
This is Fox 56 10 o'clock news.
Well, if the holidays left you a little overextended, mail slated to hit your box tomorrow could add insult to injury. The Internal Revenue Service will send out tax forms across the nation, and here in Lexington, the forms have been sorted and should arrive as early as tomorrow in some areas. There is a slight reprieve this year, though, when it comes to income taxes. Instead of being due April 15th, tax filers have until April the 17th. With the price of stamps going up this week, many mass mailers say they'll take a licking.
The hike means cutbacks for some charities and a change in marketing strategy for some retailers.
Generally, a medium is for about a woman size 10 to 12 again, but that's going to...
The J. Peterman Company fills thousands of catalog orders each day, but when the next catalog goes out, the bulk mail rate will be 14% higher. That means the company is forced to expect a lower profit margin until adjustments can be made.
A few $1,000s here and a few $1,000s there in waste, and pretty soon you're talking about real money, and you just have to get more efficient, do things smarter, do things better, and get sharper.
The company president says he can't afford to pass the cost on to customers because of the competitiveness of the mail order business. For nonprofit agencies, the hike hits harder. Directors of the Hope Center rushed to get a newsletter out last week. They figure their direct mailing budget will need to rise 10% in 1995.
We spent around $5,000 just on direct postage, and that would be $500, which may not sound like that much to some people. But to us, anything $500 extra is major. Anything extra right now is major.
Lester says she can't cut out the newsletter because it's what brings in the donations. She, too, will look for other things to cut, such as office supplies. For both profit and non-profit operations, the mail must go through, stopped by neither rain nor snow, nor prices hiked. The bulk rate for mass mailers jumps from 19.8 cents per letter to 22.6 cents.
Guess we've been spoiled long enough there.
That's right. 4 years since the last hike.
Oh, well, you saw a lot of him last year.
But a famous LA attorney may find his spotlight fading. That story when the Fox 56 10 o'clock news continues.
Is it crimson or Buckeye red in the Citrus Bowl? I'm Akemi, Takei, and I'll have all the College Bowl highlights a little later in sports.
How can I help you?
They live in towns like Fairfield and Danville. And while you might not recognize their names, our Teacher Achievement Award winners are some of the most powerful people in America. Ashland Oil and its family of companies salute them all, because it's teachers like these who have used the power of education to make a difference in the world.
Fox invites you on a double date with the sexiest stars on television.
I am totally, completely in love with you.
Beginning Wednesday, 9:0210.
So many men, so little time.
And Party of Five
That's when you have to make the first move.
are back-to-back.
I wish you weren't so sexy.
Make a date with Wednesday night's two hottest shows.
When you're with a girl, is there like a right way and a wrong way?
90210, followed by Party of Five on its new night, Wednesday on Fox.
Monday, got up, got a shower, drove to work, played Cash 5, won $100,000. Tuesday,
If you're one of those people who sticks to a routine,
played Cash 5, won $100,000.
now you can play Cash 5 Monday through Friday. And with Cash 5, you only match 5 of 35 numbers to take home $100,000.
Friday, got up, got a shower, drove to...
Cash 5, making $100,000 winners 5 days a week.
This is Fox 56 10 o'clock news.
Thanks to the success of The Lion King and The Santa Claus, Walt Disney's film company may reach a new record. Buena Vista Film Division is about to become the first distributor ever to reach $1 billion in box office grosses in a single year. Disney says the record will be set over the 4-day New Year's weekend.
Pop superstar Michael Jackson won't go down without a fight. That in tonight's Fox 56 Spotlight. Friday, an Italian judge blocked sales of Jackson's album Dangerous throughout Italy. Lawyers for Italian singer Al Bano says Jackson stole the tune for Will You Be There. Today, Jackson's attorneys responded, calling the ruling illegitimate and the judge incompetent. Well, the star of the O.J. Simpson defense team may lose the spotlight. An article in the New York Daily News says Robert Shapiro may be demoted. The article says Johnny Cochran will assume the lead role with F. Lee Bailey doing most of the cross-examination. In a news conference this afternoon, Cochran downplayed the report, saying all 4 lawyers will work as a team.
If you've been outside tonight, we don't have to tell you how cold it is. But if you haven't, you'll probably find out early tomorrow on your way to work. Our Calvin Hughes joins us live from Winchester Road with more on how people are trying to fight the cold. Calvin?
Well, Marvin, it is no secret that the last 2 days here in central Kentucky have been bone-chilling. People are doing whatever it takes to stay warm here in central Kentucky. For many shoppers, Ace has been the place, and hardware store managers say jumper cables are jumping off the racks. People are being smarter this winter. Central Kentuckians are buying antifreeze for their cars and winter items to fight ice. Also, managers say they are finding it difficult to keep heaters in stock, and retail stores say people are buying thermal underwear to stay warm this year. So it's quite clear no one is forgetting what happened last year as far as the bitter cold, and certainly no one wants to have a repeat of what happened last year as well. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Calvin. I hope you're keeping warm tonight, too.
I'm trying to.
So get those long johns ready, right?
That's great
That's
advice.
what he said, yeah. Well, as cold as it is tonight, believe it or not, it could get even colder. Cindy has details next.
And later, getting rid of unwanted scars. New hope tonight for people who want that unsightly spot removed. The Fox 56 10 o'clock news continues.
Yeah, I always try to get the cheapest, and if you buy the larger quantities, most of the times that's where you'll save. I think they're comparable to Sam's, which is supposed to be, the cheapest.
Everything's here that I need. All the brands I like, everything.
Bounty towels or Charmin bath tissue, $4.99 each. Pork loin combo packs, 87 cents a pound. And California iceberg lettuce, 68 cents a head.
No wonder more people shop at Kroger than all the other major supermarkets combined.
Do yourself a favor. Pop a top on an L81. Savor the flavor. Nothing like an L81. Now is the right time. Pop a top on an L81.
Life with Peg can be, well, hazardous.
Did you miss me?
With every bullet so far.
But love will find a way.
Would it really make you feel better if I told you I needed you?
Yes, it would.
Each weeknight starting at 7 on Married with Children. Then, they're the surgeons of the 4077th MASH. Each weeknight at 7:30. Married, followed by MASH. Starting at 7 on Fox 56.
Everybody here is crazy.
Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones.
Just open it up and say what you really want to say.
We got a thing going on.
Well, now you're a nice-looking guy. Why are you having trouble finding women?
True love is very hard to find.
This guy looks like a pretty good catch.
Gordon and Mrs. Jones, weekday morning starting at 10 on Fox 56. Tonight's weather report is brought to you by S&S Tire. This is Fox 56 10 o'clock news.
Well, I think we can all agree that winter is here, and we can feel it even here in the studio. It's cold.
Yeah, you've been shivering all
under my
night.
hands, it's freezing. Cindy, it's going to get colder, right?
Yeah, tonight is going to be cold, but in the next 2 days, we'll have another cold front pushing through. It'll push our temperatures down even more than they will be tonight. So get ready. It's here. It's the stuff that you wanted for so long, and even some more snow in the forecast to boot. Let's take a look at our currents now. Temperature is down to 20 degrees here in Lexington, but the wind, since it's blowing out of the southwest, we've got a wind chill factor of 13 degrees. Humidity, 77%. The pressure is on the rise. The dew point is 14 degrees, so that means our temperature can drop all the way down to 14 degrees by morning. Whew, that's a cold one there. I know everything's going to be frozen tomorrow morning when you get up and go to work. Temperatures now 19 degrees in Columbus, 18 degrees in Indianapolis, 20s across Kentucky for the time being, 27 degrees at Nashville, 27 degrees at Knoxville. But we do have the clouds starting to push in now to western Kentucky around Paducah. That's going to keep the temperatures a little bit warmer out in that part of the state. But as for central and eastern Kentucky, mostly clear skies tonight allows that temperature to really drop down, bottom out, and get that radiational cooling. All the heat at the surface, since there's no blanket effect of clouds, it escapes readily into the atmosphere, and that really allows our temperatures to drop down. We're going to be in the teens tonight for much of the state, with the exception out here to the west with that little bit of cloud cover. Tomorrow around 7 p.m., boy, here comes the cold front very quickly moving through the state. Behind it, northwesterly flow, much colder air, and yes, indeed, we're going to see some light snow tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. To the south of the frontal system down here in Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, they're going to pick up some light rain with it. More snow up here. Places like Cleveland today, northeast of Cleveland, picked up between 4 and 8 inches of snow today. That was lake effect snow. We don't have to worry about anything like that. Our snow is just going to be in the light form, and most of it should blow off of the road since temperatures are going to be so cold. We don't have to worry about that piling up or icing over. Tonight's forecast, an overnight clear skies, 14, 15 degrees for an overnight low since our dew point is way down there now. Southwesterly winds about 5 to 10 miles per hour, so there's going to be a little bit of a wind chill factor all night and tomorrow morning. Tuesday, we're going to start off with some sunshine in the morning, and then by the afternoon go to mostly cloudy skies with that light snow moving in. The high should be about 32 degrees, right at freezing. Southwesterly winds at 5 to 10, overnight low 14, and then Wednesday back to partly sunny skies, but my goodness, look at that daytime high, only 22. Overnight low back down to 17. An extended forecast going into Saturday will bring us another chance for snow on Saturday, although it will be light. But we're keeping it in the forecast as our temperatures are so much colder.
14 tonight.
Check the firewood supply.
My goodness, that's going to need it. Get the blankets out. Thanks, Cindy. Well, plenty of us have a little scar here or there that we'd like to hide, but some people have scars so disfiguring they affect their entire lives.
A New York doctor says there's a lot plastic surgery can do to change that. Mike Lyon has the story.
I was always very held back, I guess. I was very afraid to be open. And if I was open, I tried too hard because I was afraid of being rejected.
At 16, Peggy Orris has already had 17 operations, and she's not through yet. She was born with the strawberry hemangioma, and that left her partially blind, deaf, and scarred. Still, she's come a long way.
I'm pretty happy. I have a lot of people that tell me, why do you want to keep going for more and you look good now? Really, it's once you're as far along as I am, you want to keep striving for the perfection.
Dr. Elliot Rose helps people reach that goal. He's extremely concerned about hiding scars and regularly uses a technique called Z-plasty.
Oftentimes, I compare what we do as plastic surgeons to the trickery that a magician will use. And that is that we try to create the illusion of camouflage in correction of a scar.
With Z-plasty, Dr. Rose removes a heavy scar, uses Z-cuts to realign the edges, and hides the new, finer scars in the natural creases of the skin. Peggy's had Z-plasty performed on her lower lip and hardly knew it.
No, I never really noticed anything like that. I wouldn't even know it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Peggy acknowledges that she may never reach the perfection she strives for, but techniques like this one help bring her closer. This is Mike Lyon reporting.
Still ahead on your Fox 56 10 o'clock news, the Heisman Trophy winner now goes for a bowl win.
And they may not be national champs, but the Nittany Lions look to be king of the Rose Bowl. Sports is next.
It'll be touchdown.
It's time you knew the truth. S&S Tire is the largest tire dealer in Kentucky. We sell more tires than anyone else. Our warehouse is right here in Lexington, and so are the owners. S&S Tire. Come check out the complete line of Uniroyal Laredo light truck tires. No matter where you like to drive, on-road or off, Uniroyal offers a variety of tires perfect for your light truck. Uniroyal, sure-footed mile after mile. Available at S&S Tire, the tire store you can trust.
Hey, Willie, is it true that two of Lexington's favorite TV families are back-to-back on Fox 56?
Have mercy.
At 6, join Michelle and Joey along with the dad and the uncle on Full House. Then he's a doctor, she's a lawyer.
Denise is hogging the bathroom. Well, why don't you use the one downstairs? The small one, that's for guests. Well, pretend you don't live here.
Full House at 6, The Cosby Show at 6:30, only on Fox 56.
Simpson Optical.
Simpson Optical offers the best selection of fashion eyewear, no matter what your style. Choose fashion lenses from one of the largest selections around, or contact lenses in colors to enhance your vision and your look. Simpson Optical can even show you how you'll look in contacts or glasses before you try them on. Get the look at Simpson Optical.
Simpson Optical.
Next time on Star Trek The Next Generation.
Bring that ship back at once.
I've lost power. The captain struggles to save a runaway shuttlecraft.
May you all do your best.
And Wesley meets the ultimate Starfleet test.
We're gonna fly! Come on!
Now, both face the toughest challenge of their lives.
Pull up hard!
6 seconds to impact. I'm gonna crash. On Star Trek The Next Generation.
Tonight at 10:35 on Fox 56.
Akemi Takei joins us now with sports, and what a day for couch potatoes.
If you are a football junkie, this is the kind of day you love. And with Nebraska's win in last night's Orange Bowl virtually assuring them the national title, the Rose Bowl perhaps had less meaning. But let's face it, it's still the Rose Bowl, and it would be hard to convince either Penn State or Oregon that this one still isn't the grandest bowl of them all. It certainly looked majestic from above, and the Lions looked like kings on the field, too. First play from scrimmage, it's Kerry Collins pitching to Heisman runner-up Kajana Carter. He busts one tackle, then no question about this one. 83 yards for the quick 7-0 score. He had 2 fumbles on the day, too, but the 156 yards he picked up sort of makes up for that. But those who thought Oregon would get blown out, well, think again. The Ducks tied it up on the Danny O'Neal to Josh Wilcox TD strike. They were all locked up at 14 in the second half. When it's Carter again, this time he takes it up the left side. 21 yards for the score. Look at him go. He added another touchdown later, and although they may not be national champs, the Nittany Lions are champs of the Rose Bowl. 38-20 the final. Joe Paterno now the winningest coach in bowl history. He takes that over from Bear Bryant. Texas Tech's Red Raiders hadn't been to the Cotton Bowl in 55 years, and it may take them that long to get over today's spanking from Southern Cal. The Trojans jumped out 28-0 in the first quarter, scoring 3 times in 76 seconds. Biggest play of the game, backup Brad Otten throwing 86 yards to Keyshawn Johnson for the score. SC's 55 points were a bowl record, and it was the second most lopsided victory in Cotton Bowl history. The Southwest Conference has lost 7 straight Cotton Bowls. Now over to the Citrus Bowl, and despite appearances, this one's not for the Dogs. Gene Stallings all business. And so was former UK assistant John Cooper. He's the Ohio State head man. It was 7-7 in the second quarter when the Buckeyes' Bobby Hoying goes upstairs to Joey Galloway for the second of their TD combinations, and it's 14-7 Ohio State. Alabama came back on the ground. Sherman Williams with a tough 7 yards for the score, and it was 14-all at the break. They swapped field goals, and then in the final minute, Jay Barker to Williams, and he got loose. The short gainer going 50 yards in the score. Number 6 Alabama fights off number 13 Ohio State. Williams with 166 yards rushing and 155 receiving yards on 8 catches. The Buckeyes have lost 5 of their last 6 bowl games. Other bowl action today in the Fiesta Bowl, it's Colorado the big winner over Notre Dame, and Heisman Trophy winner Rashaan Salam announced he will go pro next year. In the Sugar Bowl, still going on right now in the second quarter, the Seminoles leading the Gators 17-10. And then over to the CarQuest Bowl, South Carolina with a 3-point win over West Virginia. It is their first bowl win ever. And the Hall of Fame Bowl, Wisconsin topping number 25, Duke, Terrell Fletcher with 241 yards on the game. Well, in contrast to all the football action, a quiet night in college basketball. Trancy, though, not taking the night off. Don Lane's club hosting Villa Julie of Maryland. And the Pioneers in control. John Mark Stewart bumping inside. He banks it in and draws the foul. Stewart and Jerome Hoosier with game-high 23s. Here's Hoosier with the tray from the top of the key. Trancy rolls to the 129-52 win. And then in another state score, there's your Transylvania score. And one other state score to look at, it's EKU falling to Billy Donovan's Marshall squad, 89-64. Marshall setting a record with 14 three-pointers in that game.
Wow.
So they certainly know how to do it. They're busy.
Hope all your favorite teams won.
Someone's favorite team had to win today.
Yeah.
Thanks, Akemi. Well, it's a tradition more than 100 years old.
When the Fox 56 10 o'clock news continues, a look at this year's Rose Bowl Parade.
Come see what I need, and I make out a list, and I know I'm getting a special buy, so I'm saving myself some money when I do this.
It's not just the products you have, but it's the people, the service. The people are really friendly.
A 98-ounce box of Ultra Tide, just $5.69. Weight Watcher Smart Ones or Entrees, 3 for $4. And Rave shampoo or conditioner, just 79 cents each.
No wonder more people shop at Kroger than all the other major supermarkets combined.
They live in towns like Fairfield and Danville. And while you might not recognize their names, our Teacher Achievement Award winners are some of the most powerful people in America. Ashland Oil and its family of companies salute them all, because it's teachers like these who have used the power of education to make a difference in the world.
Look, I appreciate the fact that fast food is fairly inexpensive.
Only 99 cents.
I know it's convenient and all that, but if I'm gonna give you 99 of my cents, you're gonna have to give me more than just some burger. I mean, is it a Whopper? Is it flame broil or is it fried? Can I get it how I want it? Or am I gonna be scraping gobs of secret sauce off the bun? I mean, I can get a roll of duct tape for 99 cents. Doesn't mean I want to make it my lunch.
The 99-cent Whopper, now at Burger King.